I would say the biggest challenge in the dental field is developing your staff and your team and getting a great dynamic amongst your team members. The dental side of dentistry and actually doing dentistry every day for most dentists is a piece of cake. And it's the managing of employees and staff that is the biggest challenge for dentists as business owners. It's not something that we are trained how to do in dental school. Before working with Larry and the Synergy Network, I experienced a lot of drama with employees and staff members. And what I mean by that is there's gossip going on at times and people choosing sides and people not all on the same page and the same team. A lot of triangling going on and what have you. My personal experience coming to work when there's issues going on with your staff and your employees is it affects your whole life. It doesn't just affect when you come to work every day, it affects you when you go home, it affects you with your family. You have a tendency, and I had a tendency, to bring my issues at work home with me. And that affects everyone around me, not just here in the office, but it affects your whole life. I would say that customer service for me as a dentist before working with Larry was something that was my greatest desire, was patient satisfaction and having repeat customers and keeping our patients that we have. And before working with Larry, it was just a desire of mine. I didn't know how to bring our team together into satisfying our patients and making sure our patients have the best dental experience that they've ever had. And I didn't know how to bring that out of my team, and I didn't know how to bring that out of myself. I would say the quality of work that was provided by us in regards to employee ownership was good, but not great. After working with Larry, my team interacts almost seamlessly. We still have little bumps and breakdowns along the road, but we know how to handle them now. And I don't necessarily have to be in charge of handling them now. They know how to resolve things with each other and what that entails and really how simple that is and that it doesn't need to be complicated, but it will get resolved, and I know it will get resolved. After working with the Synergy Network, my team listens not only to each other now, but they listen to our patients. They listen on the phone. They listen when we have a patient in the chair. And our patients feel like they're being heard and like they are getting the best dental care possible. When people feel like they're being heard and that somebody's actually listening, they feel valued. And because they feel valued, they feel important here, and it makes work and your workplace so much more fun and enjoyable. After working with Larry, my staff functions as a team every day, and they work together, they help each other, they don't get lost in the details, they pick up when needed for somebody else, they fill in the gaps, and they don't get offended about it, they don't gossip about it, they work together and there's unity, true unity. I'm excited about my employees feeling like they're great and they're not just average or even good. Larry says the enemy of great is good, and we can settle so often for the good, not even realizing our greatness. And being a person that loves working with people, it's not just about my patients, but also about my employees. And having my employees feel like they're valued and great and that they can reach their full potential is a huge desire of mine. So it excites me as a business owner to see that. The biggest result after working with Larry that was produced was our bottom line. It's the most important thing to any business owner. When the rubber meets the road, you got to have your bottom line. And our revenue doubled in 1 year. Our productivity in a day has been astoundingly different. We are much more efficient as a team. We get a lot more done. In the physical, we see a lot more patients, and we're busy, but we're efficient in it, and we're together every day, and we're united in it, and we get a lot more done. We saw wonderful results with our accounts receivable. One of our employees took on an intention of lowering our delinquent accounts, which dropped 50% in 6 months just by committing to it and being intentional about lowering that number. And then as a team, we took on our patient continuing care compliance, so bringing patients back in for their 6-month cleanings and exams. And that number is the number in dentistry that is the nightmare number. And that increased from 70% of our patients coming back in every 6 months to now it's at 85. And anything over 80 is wonderful in this industry. And so now we're believing for 90%. Workshops that I've done in the past were very stoic and very much similar to dental school lectures that I had. And Larry brought an energy and hands-on training that changed our staff, where as opposed to sitting in a lecture, you can walk away not taking anything from it. You don't have to change. But there was a realness that Larry brought to us that made us want to change and empowered us to change. The biggest change for me is recognizing my potential in a business, as a business owner and as an employer, and realizing that I need to shoot higher and not settle for what is good, but really shoot for the stars, and that the opportunities are endless. Based on what Larry taught us and what Larry brought to this business, now I know that anything is possible, really. And our potential as people, not only in the workplace and in the business place, is limitless. And to shoot for the impossible and to shoot for the stars. And even if you don't shoot for the stars, but you hit the moon, you got your feet off the ground and you're going further than you ever imagined.